All right, hey, we're going to be working on some more artwork assembly for this supplement that we're building, Spelljammer's Combat and Exploration. Give me a second here to check my signal, and then I'll go through my quick intro spiel, and then we'll get to work. So I am in the process of checking my signal here. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Checking my signal here. Loud and clear. I'm going to post on the internets that I am active. And while I do that, I will regale you with my story. Hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them. I publish them online. And I had been focusing my attention on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition here since the release of Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica back in 2017. Ravnica is one of the cornerstone settings inside of the Magic the Gathering game. And since they're both Wizards, Wizards owns both Magic the Gathering as well as Dungeons & Dragons, they started doing crossover stuff in 2017. They did Ravnica, Theros, and then most recently Strixhaven. And I was, in past editions of Dungeons & Dragons, they had always, when they came out with new stuff, they'd have new mechanics that would lean into the narrative that they were creating. But the 5th edition philosophy is different in that they take different settings and they pull them back into the mechanics of the core rulebook. So they minimize additional mechanics, which is a significant change to all the other editions of the book, where they would expand on the mechanics and the options on top of the narrative to kind of lean into that. But that creates a huge amount of scope sprawl, and it becomes difficult for them to continue to assembling that stuff. So I don't blame them for not diving into color mana, but that's what spurred me to get started in doing homebrew. Was I wanted a color mana system for Dungeons & Dragons, so I created one. You can check in the description down below, and that inspired me to continue building more and more stuff. And when the Spelljammer setting came out, again, I was inspired to lean into the mechanics of spell jamming and ship-to-ship combat that wasn't present in the 5th edition content that was created. And although a lot of people have certainly created alternate options prior to mine, this one is actually integrating all of the ideas of the combat, spellcasting, and adventuring chapters of the Player's Handbook and DMG to be able to conduct ship combat as though you are characters basically riding horses, essentially. You've got the 5-foot scale of combat, the 50-foot scale of combat, and the 500-foot scale of combat that allows characters to use their action economy in different ship, quote-unquote, ship roles, but instead of having a specific character be able to perform a specific task, you can use any of these tasks as long as you're either piloting the ship or in command of different siege weapons, or using your orrery to communicate with different ships, or acting as a support role. Characters can use any of their actions, bonus actions, reactions, and attacks in any of these roles at any time during combat in tandem and replacement of attacks and bonus actions and reactions that you'd be using at the 5-foot scale against creatures. So one of the examples we have in here is of you using your action economy to both fight creatures on your ship with your own weapons and spells, and then also switching gear with some of your actions to then be able to pilot and attack ships at the larger scale at the same time in the same round of combat. And so that takes a lot of mechanics, talking about how you coordinate movement and how you can switch scale between the 5-foot scale, 50-foot scale, and 500-foot scale during combat in these 10 by 10 map spaces that we have throughout the document, showing that you can portray combat between ships in 10 by 10 blocks that can change scale depending on how close or far away they are and what kind of combat you want to engage in. So basically the system is having you just like at the kitchen table. On VTT it's super easy because you have like on Roll20 you can have a 100 by 100 square space that you can easily break up into different, like this would be a 10-foot space, 10-foot space, 10-foot space. And you can have all these existing simultaneously next to each other in a 30 by 30 space. So you could have, like you can see here, we've got a 10 by 10 space here adjacent to a portion of a hammerhead ship that's taking up a 10 by 10 space here. This is easy to assemble on a virtual tabletop, but on tabletop at the kitchen table, playing in person, space is a high commodity at the table because everyone's around it, and you want to have an arena space inside the middle of it where everyone can share the experience of what's going on with the ships and creatures that you're portraying during your adventure. So by breaking things up into little 10 by 10 pads, you can just have a little 10 by 10 grid, or if you're using like a Chess X32 by like a 36 by 24 map space, you can like just, you only have to draw out spaces, but you can just have a 10-foot space assembled that you just drop the tokens onto with the different tokens that we provide in the supplement, the ships and creatures, etc. So we recently created a new version of, this was a flitter ship, but we changed it to be a hold on here. Are you guys even seeing what I'm looking at? I don't think I've switched my screen, have I? No, good, I did. So this is the book cover that we created back, so I got into a tangent. So you can, if you're on Twitter X still, I'm at Phil Kearney. You can follow me there. Otherwise, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon is the best way to help me grow the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm at 300 and something right now. So thanks a lot for folks that have been interested in the project. Anyone else that's checking this stuff out, thanks a lot for checking it out. Full playlist is here. All 300 and some odd episodes of me building all the art assets, and the assembly of the book has been built there. This book cover was created back around episode 15. I've got a Discord community that you can find through my Patreon. The About page will lead you to the free Discord. And then, of course, the Patreon itself. If you want to tip the efforts that I've been creating, you're welcome to. And thank you for if you do. You get to vote and stuff like that on different things that crop up. So here is the 50 by 50 token that we created for the Warhawk this past week. And we are now going to go through the process of swapping out all of these flitters. The flitter was a 20-foot long ship in second edition that was basically a fighter craft that was transported by the Monarch class spelljamming ship. It was part of the Elven Armada. It will be building one of those once this book is completed as a 500 by 500 foot structure ship that would then carry a ton, like 100 of these little 20-foot flitter craft. So when I built this, I wasn't thinking about that, and I just knew I wanted a 50-foot elven ship, and I just went, flitter, why not? But then as time went on, I realized, well, I want the flitter to be a 20-foot craft for the Armada. So luckily, there's something called a Warbird, which was from the 3rd edition Dungeon magazine and Polyhedron magazine. I think it was called Moon of the Spider Queen. They had some alternate ship designs that we've now incorporated as a Warbird for ourselves. And so today we're going to just work on page assembly with assets that have the flitter on the map pages. We're just going to swap them out for the Warbird. It's just going to be a cut and paste process, but as we go through it, we'll see if there's any spaces in the document that need like corner art or like filigree or whatever. So we're going to, basically this is just a production pipeline. We're going through the process front to back of just looking at what different things are needed. So let's see, let's go into the interior pages. And we previously had completed, we're just gonna basically traipse through the document and see what's in here that needs to be worked on. So we're gonna go through here just to make sure that we have all our assets in place. So it's kind of a tour of the book. It's kind of a light episode. The only things I have left to do before I can publish the book is I'm in the process of revising the table of content to make sure that it's, here, I'll show you this. Here's my to-do list of the updates for the Spelljammer document. And so you can see here, these are all the different chapters, sections, and subsections within the book. And these are the font sizes for each of them to demonstrate the nesting of different information inside of the chapter. And then it cascades down into different subsections as we go along. And over here on these X's were where we had previously marked in the original document when we had first created it. These were the different headers that were in the table of content. And the book has gone through some reformatting since we created this original table of contents. So right now, one of my jobs, I'm not going to do it on stream today, but off stream after, I'll be going through and basically plucking out all the 28, 24, and 20 point fonts and looking at those being the chapter headers that we list in the table of content. But then I'm going to hyperlink all of this stuff so that on the PDF, when you create a PDF, it'll pop up in the sidebar. Like if I were to, like if you were to open up a PDF, this is a navigation bar that would open in the PDF, and then you'd have everything that's hyperlinked in the document will appear here in the order, in a spatial order inside the document. And there's about maybe 70 some odd assets inside of here that need to be hyperlinked. So I'm going to be stringing that stuff up, and once all that's strung up, we'll be able to build the table of contents properly with the 28, 24, and 20 point font sections and subsections. And then throughout the document here, you can see, like it says here, for instance, in regards to spelljamming helms. A spelljamming helm is usually a chair you can sit in, but a helm can be described as anything attached to the ship that you can stand or sit on, such as a dais or podium. While on or within 5 feet of a helm, you're focusing on, you can pilot the helm's ship as detailed in the combat and exploration chapters below. And so I'll need to, we can take the links that we build for the chapter headers for combat and exploration sections of the book. And so when you click on this, it'll bounce you down to the combat or exploration chapter where you can read more about that. Multiple creatures can focus on the same helm, but only one creature can use a reaction each turn, as detailed in the ship rules section below. Helms are also orrery stations, as detailed in the additional equipment section below. So down here in the additional equipment section, you can see that there is an orrery station. We click down to the orrery station. We'll look at the artwork for this in a minute. A wild space orrery can be attached to any spelljamming. Can be attached to a spelljamming ship by placing it in an orrery station. Multiple orrery stations can be attached to a spelljammer ship, and spelljamming helms are also orrery stations. So orreries, wild space orreries. Wild space orreries are portable arcane devices that can detect and track the movement of massive objects within a wild space system, as described in SAIS, which we explained above in the intro. That SAIS stands for Spelljammers Adventures in Space, which was published by Dungeons & Dragons Wizards of the Coast in August of 2022, which is when we began this stream to build the book. And you can go back into the playlist and see the first episode of me cracking open the document and looking at what's in there and how we can work with it and starting to ideate how we can build this book. So you can see all of that stuff. Let's see, an orrery station, so as described in SAIS, a creature can attune to an orrery to use its basic features instead of attuning to it. Focusing on an orrery placed in an orrery station or on a spelljamming helm attached to the ship grants additional benefits. A creature can use the orrery without attunement. A creature can see and hear what's happening on and around the ship as if the creature were standing on in a location of its choice aboard it. A creature can sense objects at great distances as detailed in the exploration chapter below. Again, we'll hyperlink that. A creature can perform actions listed under the support and commander roles as detailed in the ship roles section below, which we just looked at a second ago and can hyperlink. So like so you can see there's all these hyperlinks that we need to be able to bounce along the document. And although you could click on this in the PDF and it'll take you to that page, the real value again is having all these things linked here in the navigation bar, so you can just have that side rail open to jump back and forth to different sections to make it easy for you to find your way through the document to the information that you need when you need it. So that's where we're at right now. And since we made those changes to the Warbird, we're going through the art pieces to look to see, do we need any corner filigree? And beyond that, is everything good to go? So these are the pages. This is the artwork that we built. That's my 20-minute timer. I've got about an hour and a half left to play, so we're going to do that. So right now, I'm literally just kicking through the document, looking at different page sections. We had built this on a whim, but it turns out we don't actually need this. If we go back to the document, you can see the Astral Spyglass is no longer needed in the document. But it's a fun little illustration that we have. It's just we don't have space for it anymore because we had to rearrange the font sizes inside this piece to accommodate everything. And that ended up eating up the space that we had there. So that is now a no longer necessary piece of art, but I might just make it a piece of stock art somewhere. This is all sitting very prettily on the page. Let's scroll this back so we can see a full page. We can see that's how it sits. So this is the necklace, and this is the necklace of fresh air, and the orrery station itself, depicting how an orrery station works, which leads you down into an orrery in Spelljammer's Adventures in Space that leads down into the Wild Space orrery that we just read through. But here's the artwork that we have going for that. Additional art that we have set up here. So I'm just basically doing a page-by-page crawl through here, making sure that everything sits pretty on the page. We redrafted this page. So what page is this? This is page 7. So we're going to go back into here. Delete that. Page 7. This is kind of what we're doing today. We're just kicking through the document, making sure everything lines up properly. Page 7. Interior pages. Technically done, but obviously not. Equipment and ships. Page 7. Options. Current page only for the document. No properties or uplinks there. Publish. Single page. Hit the back button so that I can get my background back in. Drop that out. Go back into Photoshop, open this up, remove the lock, drop down here to text, file, open, page 7, click OK, select all, copy, paste in place, delete, txt, nice. And so we take the illustration that we have here on the page, let's see, what do we need to do here? We need to drop these down so they're not eating into the text. So look how nicely these things end up sitting on the page. This filigree, this astral blarble that we created down in all these corners. This was a lot of fun to build, and it's nice to see that it's lining up with the document as it's written. So I can push this down just a touch further. I want this gap, this side rail gap here to align with the side gap rail here. So I'm going to scoot this over a touch so it lines up with the text. And that sits very, very nicely on the page. And how do we look down here? It looks really nice. So cool. So we have these three things together, and what I can do, my face, we can. What we'll end up doing is taking this here, and we line up this square here so that it's rubbing against the borders of where the art is. And the best way for me to do this is to run along the bottom, transform selection, is to push the bottom of this right up against underneath the text, and then over here right up against the text there as well. Let's see if everything's still lined up down here. And then along the bottom border here. And then we can conceal the page dressing. can conceal the text, and I can copy and then new, paste. Why are you not pasting in place? There. That is how the art should sit on the page. I want to make sure these are all butted up perfectly into the space. There we go. Get rid of that. File. Save as. Save to my computer. We are in the equipment section. What page is this? Page 7. Page 7, left bottom corner. And we're going to save this as a... I can never remember. Is PNG or is it TIFF that's bigger? What is better for... What's smaller, TIFF or PNG? Both PNG and TIFFs are excellent choices for displaying complex images, but PNG tends to be smaller in size, so are potentially better suited for websites. TIFFs, on the other hand, are often the best choice for professional use, scanning, and print options. So PNG, because this is a PDF, I don't expect anyone to print this, so we will go with PNGs. So we will save as PNG, left bottom. Page 7, left bottom corner. Smallest file size equals save. And while that's happening, we're going to go over here and we're going to we're going to insert, shape, square, blop, and now we're going to look at the image here. Image size is in inches, 3.823, 2.91. Shape format, size, .91. There. Now it should be the right size, and because we built the document, cancel there. Because we built this, then we can get rid of this PDF page. We don't need that anymore. Right. Since the way that we assembled the page was with in the corner of the text and the page positioning, this should line up well. And here's our moment of proof to see if I'm going to embarrass myself or not in the process of doing so. I'm not going to do this for every one, but I just wanted you guys to see what this is. And from here, after I finish this one, I'm just going to start belting through the document to see if everything's sitting properly. But this is some of the assembly work that I do when I am not around. Outline is none, and fill the picture from file with equipment and ships. There you go. It's pretty nicely. I think there's like a 1 pixel gap over here. Yeah, so I'm gonna scooch that over a touch. looks like we're sitting pretty nicely on the page. And you can see that there's a different. This is faded because it's a watermark background image that we created inside the document for framing. But let's see what happens when we export as a PDF. I'm going to go to Interior Pages and Done and Equipment and Ships. Page 7, we're going to replace it with the current page, document only, no markups or properties. There, equals, replace. It'll pop it open to the page. Look at that. Okay, so apparently I have some wibbles here. That I didn't merge into the document, so that's a little offline. That's right, because I painted over. But you can see how it snugs almost perfectly into the page. You can see that there's a little trim there. So I think what I need to do instead is, let's try this again. Let's go with let's blank out the text. How do I want to do this? Oh, I can do it. Okay, so let's do it like this. No. Let's transform selection. Pull it down to the top of there. That'll do. And then there. To the pixel. To the pixel. And then I do this 60 times and we're done. It's some assembly required. I think I know how to do this. Okay, so it took me a minute to think it through, but I think I have this. So I'm going to make the background disappear. Let's try this. Let's go with File, Save As, Yes, replace. There. And now we can image. Let's see. Wait. Let's go to File, Open. Yeah, I wouldn't save it because it was open. So let's try this again. File, save as. Ugh, fine. Finish saving. Takes forever to save when I'm streaming. But while that's happening, let's go back into the box here, because we're going to have to zoom this anyway. To the pixel. Good. And then up here. Microsoft Word has this nice snappiness to it that it tends to line up with the fonts and stuff really nicely. So it makes it really easy to assemble that way. But this should be... You're still saving? Come on, my guy. I can't believe you're still saving. Why are you still saving? Come on. Wow, this is really, really, really slow. Waiting for this to clear. Seriously? Maybe if I close this out. Give me some fucking bandwidth, guy. Thank you. God, bored. Here's the warbird. Thank you. Okay, great. So now that that's finally recorded, oh, I see. I couldn't do that. Let's do. All right, this is going to be tragic. Let's go to image. This is how I should have done it. Image, crop, file, save as. PNG. Yes, replace it. God's willing, that'll process sooner than later. Oh boy. Yeah, but you know what? I did not anticipate this being such a heavy load for my frickin' i9 processor with 32 RAM. Apparently OBS and streaming. There it goes. Finally, Jeebos. All right, I have to undo that. Otherwise, I'm going to completely screw everything. Text is back in place. Now let's go back here to open. Let's take a look at this. PNG. Now, let's see what happens when we go fill. Picture from file. Now that sits on the page there and it's overlapping. So let's see what happens if we file, export, PDF, interior pages, done, equipment and ships, page 7, options, current document, no properties and links, okay, publish, replace, pop open, and God's willing, look at that. Look at that lovely assembly. Holy crap, that worked just fine. No indication, no mark. Oh, there's some marks along the bottom there. So apparently, damn it. All right. Well, you see the process. I'm apparently going to have to fuck around with this corner for a while and potentially have to fuck around with a bunch of corners. But you can see that if we do it right, it'll all line up properly. It's just my problem is that I didn't. That's the PNG. It's got that paint over effect. That's bad. All right, I need to figure out. I'm gonna need to figure out how to resolve all that. So let's see if we can figure out how to resolve all that. Okay, now that all looks like it lines up pretty. Smudging like that. properly integrate this. Feels like a yes. There we go, like that. Good now. Maybe we're good now. Yeah, okay, that looks good. I think we're all properly lined up now. Let's do that just to edge that in. All right. Save that real quick as a PSD. Cool. And now let's conceal the text. Select is going to be reselect. And we're going to copy, shift, paste, file, new, there, and we can file, save as, hold on, make sure PSD is, our PDF is closed, and anything else, Warbird, PSD, new title, file, save as, save my document, PNG, here, save, yes, replace. Come on, honey, finish quickly. It's not that big of a deal, you should be able to save this. Yeah? Thank you. We can then go back into here, click, bam, and then fill picture from file. And then file, export, here, interior pages, done, equipment, here, options, this page only, document, no hyper, property, publish, replace, document, oh, look how smooth that is now. Oh crap, got a little nudge over here. Let's try that one more time. export PDF. Interior pages, done. Equipment, page 7, options, current document, no properties. Okay, publish. Replace, pop. Now it's off over here a touch. Huh. Why is that happening? I'm seeing a margin here too. Interesting. Still looks like it's lined up over here. Oh no, there's the gap. Of course. Huh. Interesting that's not lining up. Let's continue exploring the space. It should be lining up, but it's not, so that's making us ask questions. Okay, we're at the edge. That's good. Oh, maybe the problem is that we're missized. So let's go back to the bottom left corner, PNG, image size, inches. I bet that's what the problem is. Yeah, image size changed. So let's go back into SC&E. Height is going to now be 3.017 inches by, oh, that might be causing the problem, 4.507. It's miscuing it just a touch. Because it doesn't have that, it's rounding up. Oh, that's interesting. It's not 3, so it's off by 0.003 wide and width is 507.013. That explains why things are off. Holy crap. Okay, so I have to crop the image so that it will conform It can only go 2 degrees. It can't go 3 degrees. Okay, well, now we know that. I did not know that before. I've never attempted to build a document so precise as this before. So that is very interesting. So what I can do is instead I can cancel, and then I can file, and then canvas size. I can 5.0. Now let's try this again. We're going to save with our new dimensions. Inches. I bet this is going to work. Let's just grab that real quick. I bet this is going to work. No PDFs are open anywhere. Here, I go back to format. Page size is now 3.02 inches, and width is now 4.5 inches. Did that save? Yes. 3.32? 3.02. No, 3.02 high. There we go. By 4.5. There. Now let's try fill picture from file. 906. Image size 906. What? Why did that happen? That did not work out the way that I wanted it to. Huh. Okay, so what is the image space? Picture. Oh, wait. No, that's all good. We're figuring this stuff out. 3.02 by 4.5. Image. 3.02 by 4.5. 3.02 by 4.5. Cancel. I see. Let's go with image canvas size. I can keep cropping this. Image is 3 inches high. Okay. That. Now let's go back into here, and size is now 3. should be able to fill picture from file. All right, well that edge lines up now, and how about down here? Does our edge line up down here? Let's try file. Let's try this again. Export. Options. Live stream failing here, folks. Content you can't find anywhere else. Lining up. Good. Lining up. Slightly imperfect. Why does that happen? Huh, I don't know why that is happening. That is imperfect. Oh, it's clipping the circle, that's why. How can I? Let's go to image, canvas size. Can I go to 2.99? Close this out. Boy, what a pain in the ass. At some point, this isn't going to be worth it. Okay. Shape format, size, 2.99. Fill, picture, property, plop. Wait, did we just, did it? Did that fix it? Hold on. Share pages, done. This is the only one we're gonna do. Otherwise, we're just gonna kick through the document and just start cleaning on things. But options, current page, document, bop, 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 publish, replace, kiss and a prayer. Sweet. very subtle shift here. I mean, seriously, is it at this point, is it worth it? Is that the only thing that needs fixing here? I mean, if that's the only problem, then maybe we just eliminate the problem. Some assembly is required, apparently. God, what a train wreck, huh? I can't do this for 1,000 pictures. Blend that in. Hopefully this will work out. This little corner project I'm working on is just absolutely killing my fucking production time. But it looks so pretty. If I can get it to work, incredibly pretty. Was that the only area I had a problem? Very yes. Whew, okay, so let's see if we can clear this from our plate of hate. How are we supposed to do this now? That. What the fuck is going on? Why are you doing that? Actually, I don't need to have it brush up against there. What I do need to do is have it brush up against the frame. So I can go to here. Like this specific size isn't nearly as necessary as having this resolved. So let's do that instead. Transform. Where's my text? That's how we should do this. Transform selection. I bet this will work. Shit. There. Okay, so we can do that. So we have this edge here that lines up, and we have the edge up here that lines up. We're figuring out how to do this while we're doing it. Like, you're watching me figure out how to assemble this. Because I've never done corner art like this in a book before. Previous to this, it was all just free-floating image spaces that didn't have to worry about this level of precision. But this is what we're doing. So we're going to... No. Copy, free, new. Zoom in more. At some point, it absolutely stops being worth. So we want to go to image, canvas size. Let's see if this works. Nice. Okay, so that cut that clean. We're going to File, Save As, PNG. place, yes. Height is now 2.96 and width is now 4.43. Cool. Ooh, that lines up nicely. That lines up nicely. Now let's see if the PDF is good. What an amazing pain in the fanny. The only reason this is such a pain in the ass is because I have such precision cornering that we're doing here. And it's off. How are you off? Okay, let's try that, and I guess we... maybe that'll work. So, file, export, create PDF. If this doesn't work, I'm just gonna have to abandon it, I guess. It's a fucking shame. But I mean, it's just, I can't reasonably sit through this like that. So let's go with 7 options, current page, document, bop, bop, bop. Does that fix it? That fixed it there. Oh, it fixed it. That looks good. Eek, that's off edge. But that's, oh, but that lines up. It's still fucked up. How do I do this? How do I fix this so it isn't an ongoing problem? I hear you. Oh shit, wrong button. can just do a light blend like this. Maybe this will end up making it work. If not, then I just need to learn to just absolutely be spot on with the bottom frame coloring lining up with the extension, and that is honestly a hell of an effort. Like at some point this just isn't, I mean, it's already, like if I have to do this, like literally do all of this for every single one of these corners, well, there's only 20 corners that I actually have to worry about. But still, that's an extra day or two of production time I'm gonna have to spend doing this crap. Is it worth it? Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. Let's apply mask and then merge down. And then file. Let's try save as again. Maybe this will fix it in the final. And then we are learning as we go. File replace. Equals big yes. Let's try it again. File, export. PDF, interior, done, equipment, here, options, current, document, bop, bop. Yes, here's hoping. That's pretty good. That lines up. That is a pretty decent lineup. Still marks there. I can see them. Some point it doesn't matter. Some point it just doesn't matter. And is this at this resolution, is it good enough? Because this is the resolution that we would at most be operating at. So just a touch off. Would I have been better? Would I have been better off just building the same assembly and then using the It's so close now. Why is that? Why is that there? Am I fucking crazy? Oh, stupid. You left it open and didn't save it. You didn't read the dialogue box that popped open, moron. Read your freaking dialogue box, son. No wonder, yeah, no wonder it saved so quickly, because it didn't actually save. Wow, what a noob. All right, well, I've been belaboring over nothing, apparently. So let's there, it's saved. So let's okay, cool. So let's apply this and then merge down. And now save this as PNG so it doesn't eat up as much space. PNG. Wow. This should save faster. Wow. Learning process here, guys. Welcome to it. This is what stand-up comics feel like when they're bombing. But then we'll be. So it looks like I'll finish this page and learn these lessons, and then there we go. Not saved. Now I can go back into. Let's see. Is our Word document there? Okay, cool. So here, let's go to fill with the actual new image that we have. There's that, and let's go up here and see if that's lined up. There. All right, let's try this again. Export PDF. Interior pages done. Equipment 7. Options. Current. If I don't click options and I click publish, it does the entire PDF, and it's like a 3-minute process. Save. Kitchen of prayer. Still a little short down here. No, is it? Wait, looks like that's it. Still a crease. But it's, ooh, God, I didn't even see where that transition ended. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. So that's all sitting nicely. I still have, oh, interesting. Now I can see where the transparency mark ends. But otherwise, it's really good. Shit. All right, so maybe, let's see. Let's give it one last go to see if I can make this work. I can't just take it to the bottom edge because we have navigation art. Oh, maybe. Maybe I can just do an overlay of the navigation bar on top of it and actually extend it. Wow, okay, let's try that. Let's try that. Let's close that. Let's take this again. Let's try this. Maybe this is just an easier way to do it. Let's try doing it this way instead. And this might just be an easier. And then when we go back through, we can just do an overlay for all the navigation buttons. Yeah, let's try doing this. Maybe this was just a giant learning curve for nothing. Wow, maybe this was the solution the whole time. So we'll hide the text. Hard copy. File. New. Paste. Merge down. Image. Canvas size, bottom corner. I bet this was the answer the whole time. Save as, save to your computer. Save it, replace it. While that's finishing up, we'll get rid of the PDF here. And we'll go back into our document here and we will resize this. So it's shape format, size is now, height is 3.74 and width is 4.64. Are you done saving? Yes, you are. Boy, placement, picture from file. Go. Behind text. Feels like it's lined up. Let's try that. Export. This might actually be good. Options, don't publish. Current document, only page, no properties. Now, publish. Looking for it. Oh, that lines up perfectly. There is no seam. I can't see a seam between these two things. That's fantastic. Over here. I did not see the seam. I just completely... We did it! 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 All right, we did it. So what is now missing from this is the navigation button that is supposed to... So I can close this down. So what's missing here now is the navigation button. We're going to delete that layer. Shift button. There you go. See, that's what it needs to be at. So when we rebuild, what we're going to have to do when we truss up the hyperlinks into the PDF document, we already know that. Oh, I'm going to scroll back here. That is the solution that we have now. So cool. Now we can sally forth with confidence that this is sitting pretty in the corner, that it lines up perfectly with the actual PDF. So good. So good. So when we build the navigation bar, we'll have these individual things. So we're just gonna have to build basically like a 1-inch by 8.5 inch panel, and then we're gonna have to drop these. We have this. So we have this here, right? So what we can do is design. What we'll have to do is shape. We had to do this anyway for building the. What's the word I'm looking for? To assemble the navigation bar here at the bottom of the page. Anyway, we're gonna have to build this, and now that we're going to do that, we can just build it here and then custom drop in each of these icons as we go along. There and then there. Thank you. And there. So we'll just have to build out each of these separately. But that's reasonable. We can do that. So this is not how I anticipated spending this session, but now we have a format that we can reliably build this corner arc the way that I wanted to and make sure that it actually executes properly. Wow. I am very, very happy about that. So this is all turning out really nicely. I didn't have to fuck around with it too much. No more than it was already messed around with in the first place. It sits... Oh, it is off. It is off a touch. All right, so let's try this as one more time. Export, PDF, interior, done, equipment, 7, options, current page only, documents, document properties are removed, there. Yes. We did pick up a flaw there. And now apparently that flaw is gone. How are we looking down here? I cannot detect where the line ends. Cannot tell. And it's, yep. So I'll have to do this 104 times. Well, not really. What is up with that duplicity there? It is what it is. Okay. There's that. Nice. Okay, guys, we did it. We finished one page. This is when the PDF is finished. It's going to be like this. So I'll have the navigation bar in here that we'll have to build. Maybe we'll build that on Monday. So I'm out of time, so I'm going to have to bounce out of here. This was painstaking, but ultimately very rewarding that we were able to accomplish our goals. We now know it can be done, and we know an easier way to actually do it during that time and process. Wow, look at that. It has the... So pretty. So pretty. So all I have to do is that, like, 100 times. It's a 107-page document, so I have to do that 105-ish times, and the book will be done. So this is what I'll be doing. But we're not doing this on screen anymore. Starting on Monday morning, we're going to be working on Eberron art for the Eberron adventure that we had been developing prior to this. We put that on pause so I could build this for a year. And then, and now we'll be able to continue with the art assets for the Eberron adventure. So we'll build this out off screen, probably on like Mondays and Thursday. I'll give you updates on that, and I'm expecting this to be done. Goal is like the 25th or the 26th. That is, I keep saying this should be a realistic goal, and then I push it back. But we are super far down the pipeline. So we're we're going to table of contents now that we know how to drop the images in properly and to align with our borders. That should be a much quicker process. So we need to fix the table of contents, hyperlink everything, drop in the art assets, seal it into a PDF, and that's now done. And then for the token assets, all we have to do is just break those apart into individual, just do assembly style, save the black and white and the color tokens as separate JPEGs that we can then drop into a folder. That should probably take a couple hours to do. Now that we have the warbird done, we can go and we can swap the warbird out and all the artwork that we have, and just keep attacking the day. So I will see you guys. I'll see you guys on... I'm going to see if I can build a quick video today to post online, but otherwise we're just going to do assembly work. So I'll see you guys then. Later.